Look around. This is community. This is action. This is what individuals standing up together looks like. Thank you all for showing up for your waterways and community today. My name is Thomas Patrick, a resident of St. Pete for 15 years, small business owner, former Neighborhood Association president, and current chair of the Suncoast Surfrider Foundation. A little over 48 hours ago, we put this together. No elaborate event planning, not a political advertisement, a true grassroots effort. For those who are sick and tired of hearing excuses from our state leaders. And look what it's turned into. This is why we love St. Petersburg, and this is why we have hope for the future. Today is about sharing our stories as a community, a rally to support the voiceless. Tampa Bay was on the brink of total collapse just a few decades ago. There were dead waters where there shouldn't have been thriving seagrass beds teeming with fish and crabs and birds. Then our community came together and demanded that our bay be saved. Our community dedicated the time, funding, and policies required to bring Tampa Bay back. But here we are again. But before we get started, can we please take a moment of silence for the millions of sea life right over there that have been lost and continue to die each minute. Thank you. Today's rally was prompted by a phone call from a friend, a small business owner, a water lover, on the verge of tears not knowing what to do with the tons of dead fish on her business's front door. We all can smell it, we all can see it. While red tide might be naturally occurring algal bloom, there's nothing natural about what's going on out there. Today is about change, and our elected officials are what we need to get us there. We've had a lot of interest from our political leaders to speak, but we decided this is not a platform for political advertisements. This is a day for the people. However, those who showed up today are here to listen, to talk to us, to walk with us, to be a solution with us. And we like to acknowledge those who took their time to show up and share their support. The current electeds, thank you for coming out today. Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Freed's office. Ben Diamond. Charlie Christ. Gina Driscoll. And Michelle Rayner. And for candidates in the upcoming election, Lindsay Cross. Pete Boland. Ken Welch. And Eunice Ortiz. Piney Point discharged more than 200 million gallons of toxic water directly into Tampa Bay. That fluorescent clean water left over from phosphate mining was laden with nitrogen. Nitrogen, the number one pollutant, is in this great waterway. It is literally feeding harmful algal blooms like red tide. We haven't seen red tide in upper Tampa Bay like this since 1971. We almost never see red tide blooms this early in the summer. So let's be clear, Piney Point caused this massive ongoing disaster happening right behind us. 800 plus tons of dead sea life rotting on our beaches. A Piney Point disaster months ago with still no plan of closure or accountability. What do we think would happen? And who foots the bill? Us. Taxpayers, we're paying for this. We're here to say we are sick and tired of paying for corporate interests. We are tired of no accountability. We are sick of reacting to disasters. We are here to prevent them. Here are our community's demands. Prevent this from ever happening again. Close Piney Point. The state has no real plan to do this even though it's long overdue. Then make a plan to close all of the 24 other Piney Point-like facilities in our state. Even before the Piney Point disaster in April, our bay was losing seagrass from extreme nutrient pollution. Our second demand is listen to the experts. Mandate the policies recommended by the Area of Bay Management, the Nitrogen Management Consortium, the Regional Planning Council, and the Tampa Bay Estuary Program. They know what's best for our bay, and they know what's best for our watershed to help save our bay. Third, stop phosphate mining in Florida. Fix our ancient infrastructure. And of course, do something to stop climate change. Move us to clean energy now. Now that we've talked about prevention, let's talk about what's happening right now. Governor DeSantis must declare a state of emergency in Tampa Bay. Our cities and counties need help from the state. Governor DeSantis needs to stop playing politics and start stepping up. Enact strong emergency policies to stop all nutrient pollution. Trust me, we all know the difference between some greenwashing and real solutions, and we will all be voting accordingly. Last but not least, make polluters pay. HRK owns Piney Point. Mosaic owns other similar facilities in our state. Taxpayers, like you and me, should not be paying for this cleanup. Make polluters pay. So before we get started to take our walk around the beautiful, pristine Tampa Bay water region over here, we want to invite a couple of guest speakers just to say a couple words about how this red tide has affected them personally, as a business, and as a community. First up, I wanted to invite a really good friend of mine. She's actually the reason for today's rally. The owner of Urban Kai, Amy Conley.
Oh, now can you hear me? Yes. All right, I'm Amy Conley with Urban Kai. My husband and I, in 2009, started a stand-up paddleboarding business. Right on the bay. We were super excited to tap into our gorgeous environment, and we've had such a great community outpouring of support throughout the years. And we always want to give back. So every day we go out and we paddle on these beautiful waterways, and everyone we expose them to, from little children to 80-year-olds, from people all over the world, showing them how blessed this place is and how special it is. So as we looked months ago with that Piney Point discharge, we looked at each other and we said, well, how is this going to affect our community? How is this going to affect all this wonderful sea life that we are so lucky to paddle with? Between manatee and dolphin and stingrays and snook and redfish, everything. This is not political. This is life. This is water. Water is life. This has nothing to do with politics. It has to do with our community. So we said to ourselves, is this going to come our way? Who's going to get affected by this? Who's going to hurt from this? Who's going to die from this? Who's not going to be able to breathe because of this? And now we know. And now we know. Sunday afternoon, that's when it started hitting our shop. We did a nice, beautiful yoga on the water, right? Paddleboards, a big group of women who came out here from Georgia, 10 of them. Let's do some yoga on the water. Had a beautiful time. 10 a.m. By 1 p.m., the fish started floating in. So we said to ourselves, well, Kids Camp is off this week. Kids Camp, these beautiful children who love, and we teach them so much about keeping our waterways clean. We're cleaning up the mangroves as we paddle. We're exposing them to everything here. We had to call you're sad, you're upset, and we need help. So clean it up and don't let it happen again.
Talk about the sewage safety puts out here.
This is Tiny Point.
This is
Next up, we have someone who's actually on the front lines of the current disaster. Traditionally a commercial fisherman, but he's out there cleaning it up right now. And we wanted Captain Neal to share his story about what he's seeing out there and what he's seen over the years and why this is different. So everyone welcome Captain Neal up to speak.
Hey, you guys, can you hear me all right? Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you to Surf Riders. I see my friends over here from Juke Squad. They got a huge social media presence that can help us get the word out. Thank you for being here, you guys. So, as Thomas explained, we've been out on the water. As Thomas explained, we've been out on the water for the last 5 days. We've been out there 10 hours a day. Got it? It's usually a fishing pole. All right. Yeah, as Thomas explained, we've been out there for the last 5 days, 10 hours a day, dressed in respirators and protective clothing, picking up fish out of all of our canals and water system here along St. Petersburg. And I can tell you that unfortunately, no species that we have appears to have escaped this disaster that we are dealing with. You know, the biomass that we're seeing out there, it's really shocking, is the only way to put it. And, you know, whereas we have fish that have floated up as of a week ago, they're now turning rotten and really putting off a smell. But as of yesterday morning, we're still seeing snook, live snook, throwing themselves out of the water, crashing around on the surface, and then going belly up. And it's disappointment. As a charter captain here locally and part of a really robust group of charter guides that are thought to be some of the best in the whole state of Florida and the Southeast, our team here, our fleet of captains, both commercial and recreational, are known as some of the best. We're on the water more than anybody else. And we want to be brought into the fold here to participate in some of the discussion. These fish, These fish pay our light bills. We name them. There's a redfish that's 30 years old living on Wheaton Island. We call him the mayor. He's the real mayor as far as we're all concerned. But anyway, I'm kidding around, I'm kidding. But anyway, yeah, it's just so critical that even after the fish, kind of transitions and the organic material falls away and starts to sink, our water quality issues continue to exist. And it's critical that we keep attention on this and keep the public eye on it and let our neighbors know how important it is that even though the smell has died down, we still have to stay on top of it and keep leadership accountable. So want to make sure that all of the